What kind of pizza you want?
He had a mouth on him.
You want a pepperoni?
He cussed like a sailor.
You want a pepperoni pizza?
It was bad.
Happy chaos, that's our song. Loud and wild, but where we belong. Life's a sermon, love's the verse. Blessings big and a little reverse. Happy chaos, yeah, bring it on.
You know what happened? Do you know what happened? I missed church yesterday for the first time, in the sense of like I got sick and had to call in for the very first time in 15 years.
That's a big thing.
It's huge.
That just shows his dedication.
I mean, I've had like vacations. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Now, I will tell you. Did you know I went 7 years without a vacation at all? Like never took a Sunday or a Wednesday off. 7 years, and then after 7 years, I finally took my first vacation. Do you want to hear something? You want to hear something funny about that?
Yeah.
I cut you off. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
You didn't cut me off.
When I took my first vacation after 7 years, when I came back, there's a whole bunch of people that did. I say a whole bunch of people. We were a tiny little church, so a few of the few people kind of picked a little problem, started a little problem, and we had like a little mini church split.
Oh, because you took a vacation?
No, because they were waiting for an opportunity for me to be gone to start something. So then when I left, then they started it, and then I came back, I found out, and I said, oh, that's a different topic. You can't do that around here. And I said, well, at the time we only had a deacon. We had one guy who was a deacon, and I said, you're gonna have to meet with me and our deacon, and we're gonna talk about this. And they never came to the meeting. So then they and their little group of people left, and then we had this group of young people, and they got so mad that this other group left that they were like, which we're kind of dealing with this right now, because they were like, oh, well, if they left and they should be the example and they're older and we're younger, we're leaving. So then they left. And I was like, why would you leave because they left? How does that make sense? Now you just did what they did.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Anyways, I started that off early. Hey, welcome to Happy Chaos, where things are happy chaos.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Justin.
And widow, married.
Yeah.
Blended family of 9 children. Blended family of 11, 9 children.
Which is where the term happy chaos came from.
Yes. And this
People said to us, how are things going in the first year of our marriage, which we just finished our first year of marriage. And they said throughout that first year, they would say, how are things going? And I would say, it is happy chaos.
Yeah.
And it's true. It is happy chaos.
I think the word chaos gets a bad rap.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially in the Christian culture.
Yeah.
But our chaos is happy and wonderful. And
yeah, we don't mean it in a negative way.
No.
And we're here. It's done. I mean, there's a neon sign. We're not changing it.
We wouldn't change it anyway.
It's happy chaos. Actually, I like it. It's like
I love it too.
I don't know. It's like dynamic.
Yeah. And so now anytime anyone sees a chaos sign.
Oh, yeah. Anything with chaos.
I love it. Don't stop. I love being given stuff that says chaos. Chaos coordinator. This is our beautiful chaos. We just got one that said some people call it chaos. We call it family. I love
chaos
it.
in the kitchen.
So awesome.
All the chaos. Anything
awesome.
Chaos.
This is episode 42.
Is
my
it really
age.
42?
My age still.
She is 43.
I'm not 43 yet. We still have like 2 more episodes.
We have 14 minutes, 38 seconds.
No, my birthday's not until next month. So, yeah.
Well, just know I better buy you some birthday gifts, and you're not going to tell me what I'm supposed to buy you. I just have to guess.
You don't have to get me anything.
I want to get you
You
stuff.
actually did get me stuff. He let me decorate our room, redecorate our room, and
From perfectly fine stuff.
it's cost me a little bit of money.
Kelly's good at math until she's not good at math.
That's not true. Anyway,
she intentionally forgets.
But listen, I posted the before and after, so I hope you guys chime in. I saw some people chime in.
And it's not actually totally done. We still have a whole fireplace to put in.
Yeah, which we're doing Thursday. And so I'll come back with that half of the remodel.
And then I think I'm done for a little bit.
He said he wants to work his way down the hallway to the kids' rooms. And we have one getting ready to move out here next month. And so we're going to be moving some kids
He
around.
doesn't even have a place yet. You don't know anything. He doesn't know what he's doing.
I do know.
Oh my word.
I know. But listen.
I'm sorry. My heart rate is up right now. I just need a rest. I need a
It's
minute.
okay. It'll be all right. I do everything on a budget.
Whatever budget she makes up as she goes.
Oh, we've had an eventful week of doing our room over, and my family was here from Florida, which hence the cute sweater they brought me.
Nobody can read it through your hair.
It says locals only, Vero Beach, surf. Because I was a surfer.
You want to know a pain in the rump?
What?
It's our trash situation. We need a third can. Kelly calls them barrels. Do you call them cans or barrels?
Trash barrels.
They're trash cans.
They're not cans. Cans are tin and aluminum.
Well, they're outdoor trash cans, and the ones that the companies like put out there that have a little thing that their machine can grab and throw them in. Okay, so we called the company. They give you two. We called the company. They said we can't give you a third. I said, "What? I'll pay for it. Like, why can't I pay for a third?" And they said, "No, because it's done through your city. You can't."
Our city does not allow us to have more than two.
And it's because they have it under contract.
But next door has 3.
Yeah,
So I
don't
decided
understand.
that I'm going to call and I'm going to lie. I'm going to lie. Because they asked me when I called last time, they said, how many barrels do you have? And I said 2. And they said, oh, yeah, that's your limit. So this time I'm going to call and I'm going to say, I have 1. And then I'm going to have them give me another one. And then we're going to put 3 barrels out there and see what happens.
I don't think they'll do it. I don't think they'll take a third. How did they get a third?
I don't know.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, look, they told me, I called them, and she was like, oh, yeah, you live where? We can't give you another. Your city pays for that. And I was like, I'll pay for it. Like, I'll charge me a service fee. I would pay good money. I don't know about bad money, but I'd pay good money for another barrel. Y'all, I have
They're
to
not
put it
gonna
in the
do
back
it,
of
though,
my.
Emma.
I have to put it in the back of my truck and take it places. I have to take it to people who I know. I have to call and beg. I'm like, can I use your dumpster again? I'm so sorry. We apparently have a lot of waste, and so I need more space.
We have 9 people in this house. And
I
then
know.
when we have visitors, we have even more. And
Oh,
so
our
this
table-
past week,
our table
we've
was
had
so full.
13. Well, and
Couple-
plus our
couple
other
times,
kids.
yeah.
So like 17, 18 people the past couple of days. So
It's crazy.
it is crazy.
But it's crazy that you wouldn't. I mean, if I live anywhere else, you just charge me a fee and then bring me an extra barrel. But because I live in a place where the city pays for that, you won't charge me the same fee for an extra barrel? How does that make any sense? I mean,
They just want to control you.
what's the difference if it comes from our city or the city right beside ours that you get to in like 2 minutes?
I agree.
That's silliness.
So-
Speaking of that, you know what we're going to talk about today?
Oh gosh.
We're gonna talk about Kelly's jobs. And we're gonna start with a little game.
I don't know if I should be embarrassed or if I should be proud.
We're gonna start with a little game about, it's all gonna be a little game about the jobs that Kelly's had. She's going to tell us a job, and then she's going to try to convince us if she's really had that job. And our job is to guess yes or no. That's all you gotta do. It's true or false today. Is Kelly telling the truth about this particular job or this aspect of her work time? I think one of the things we're gonna ask today is how many jobs has Kelly had in her lifetime? And
Do you want to know that right now?
no, we're gonna guess it. You can
Oh,
that can go ahead and
okay.
be question
All
one
right.
that you can guess if you'd like before we get to our comments.
Okay.
How many jobs do you think Kelly has worked? How many places has she worked? And I don't think that she actually knows the number, but
I'm close.
She's close. She's in the vicinity of the number, so that'll be fun. And then at the end, we'll let her share some actual true thoughts. We won't leave you totally hanging, but you'll guess in the in between. Is Kelly telling the truth about this place of employment? And I get to be here to question. I get to
Okay.
say, tell me about, okay, who worked there with you, what kind of work environment was it, what was the uniform, and she'll have to describe it, and then that way we can decide from her questions from her answers, did she really work that job or is
Okay.
she making it up?
All right.
Sound like a plan?
Where do we start?
I can't see that. I'm trying not to look.
All right.
Well, I thought we started with comments. Are we not reading some comments?
Oh, I didn't know. I thought we were just gonna jump.
Yo,
all right.
she's trying to forget about you all, but I'm keeping you in the loop.
That is a lie.
I'm keeping you in the loop.
That is a lie.
Next time y'all decide to send some gifts, you can remember who's keeping you in the loop.
We just got a letter.
She's trying to win you over with the song.
We
Hey.
just got a letter. Wonder who it's from.
No, I don't. Their names are right there.
Stop being so rotten.
I just want y'all to know we're reading most of these off of Facebook because that's where most of them come in. Actually, there's something that's going to happen here on Happy Chaos. We should probably tell you all so that you know.
Oh,
Even
boy,
though you've already,
you're gonna drop that bomb.
they already know.
Drop it.
Why are you making it like that?
Cause just do it. Do it. Give them the blow really quick, hard. You got to do it because then
You do it. You do it.
No, you.
Okay. We're moving Happy Chaos back under the Pastor Justin Walker title. We've moved it over to its own standalone title, but that is not growing. And what's happening is that most of our views and then comments and things happen after we go and share it under the Pastor Justin Walker name. And so we're going to put it back under that and just leave it there. I mean, that's kind of the whole idea that we've had, is that there's this umbrella ministry of Pastor Justin Walker.
Yes.
And then under that, we have this, Pastor Justin and Kelly, Kelly and I together, which includes Happy Chaos and all of our little reels and short videos and things that we do. But then there's the Whole Truth, which is a Bible study that I have where I'm teaching through the entire Bible. And so because we kind of have this like ministry umbrella of Pastor Justin Walker, what we're probably going to do is change the YouTube name to Pastor Justin Walker rather than the Whole Truth. And then under that YouTube name of Pastor Justin Walker, you'll just have 2 video series and we'll put them in playlist. Okay, I don't think anybody really cares now that I've actually said it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my cup. I was like, everybody cares.
Oh, that's probably the thing everyone's paying attention to right now.
It is
Kelly, that a
well
new
with
cup?
my soul. It's a new cup.
Of course it is. How many cups did you get rid of? How many cups did you promise you would get rid of?
2.
How many did you get rid of?
I'm going to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to. I
We
promise.
get rid of nothing, except apparently more than 2 trash cans full of trash, but that doesn't count.
That's true.
And I burned boxes. I burned Amazon boxes in
He
my
was fed
fire
up
pit.
with me when he did this.
I have a good sized fire pit. I burned for almost 3.5 hours. That's not exaggerated. Boxes that burn fast. I kept feeding box after box
You're
after
making
box.
me sound really bad right now, but it was just from our remodel.
She gets
So on to
everything
comments.
on Amazon.
Jody Ballard.
She's just moving us on. All right, here we go.
I have to just move us on. All right. So she said she loves baseball hats because she has curly hair, and curly hair is no fun in Florida humidity. Girl, I know all about that. And you're right. She can't wait to see before and afters. She saw them because they're on Facebook.
You already
She
saw
is
them.
Team Justin again. She loves a clean, minimal home, but lately it's no longer happening. With my mom's recent passing, I took a lot of stuff from her home, and I still need to go through more. And she still needs to sell her parents' house this year, and her son is currently home from the Army, and oh boy, he has 2 bedrooms filled.
Oh boy.
So blessed he's home, though. Oh, that's awesome that he's home.
But I feel you. As you're describing that in written form, I can feel the clutter
Yeah.
in my soul.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
He's been twitching because our room was all apart and transferring and getting rid of so many things. And
Well, it was like
But
every time we got one thing done.
his wife, who loves him and wants to speak his love language, has been trying to get it done and clean up and make it as minimal as possible and clean as possible. And
You have done a really good job of cleaning as we go.
thank you.
But I'm like my brain, my eye is about to twitch. Like I'm gonna get an eye twitch.
She's Jody is team lamps as well. By the way, we kept the lamps and we have 2 ones that hung up on the wall.
You can see it in the little after video.
Yeah. Laura Durand. It's hard to pick between y'all's preferences regarding decorating. I personally prefer a more simple, classic, yet warm look. I stay away from clutter as much as possible. I look forward to seeing your new remodel. Your podcast is the highlight of my week.
Oh,
I
thanks,
love
Laura.
hearing that. David Eaton, I'm big on Western country when it comes to decorating. That and metal signs, but those stay in the man cave. You have to find ways to make space uniquely yours, even if they're small. Also, I'm a big line dancing guy, so if you find somewhere, let me know. Well, Kaylee's got boots, so she's ready. Do you have boots, though, David? That's a question I want to ask you.
You know,
Do you have boots, and do you have a cowboy hat?
these boots were meant for walking.
Do you even like line dancing?
These boots were meant for walking. They weren't meant for dancing. There's a song.
I'll update you guys on our first class.
We are not, I don't want to go line dancing. I don't want a cowboy hat.
We're going to go line dancing, though.
Do you know what she said today in our redecorating? She wanted me to hang one of my guitars in our room that she felt like matched the decor. And speaking of which, I was like, okay, I'll need to get a hanger. She already ordered it on Amazon. It was already taken care of. She said, when I said that, I said, you're going to order? And she goes, I wasn't going to do it without your permission. So
I didn't want to push my limit. And
she
so
said, I don't
was
want to
like,
push my
let me
limit.
show you. And I said, oh, wait, I did order it.
So I hung the guitar, and then she goes
Oh,
and she gets her
gosh.
little, not quite a cowboy hat.
Nah, it's a Lainey Wilson type of a cowgirl hat.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a country western type of a,
Ish. I mean, it's got a big brim.
yeah.
Anyways, so she puts it up by the guitar, which it looks cute up there. And she's like, oh, she was like, I want to put this here. And then she goes, and we'll put yours on the other side. I'm not getting a cowboy hat. I don't want a cowboy hat. I already have the boots. I'm walking around in boots all the time now. I don't, even the way I say boots sounds country, and I'm not.
I love it. You are country.
I'm not that country. I mean, I've done country things, and I've grown up near country people, but I'm not country. I don't farm. I don't garden well. I don't have any animals aside from like house animals that
That's
are
because you're the
spoiled.
country pastor preacher.
I guess, but I mean, even that, I feel like number one, I got to gain some weight. I need a bigger belly if I'm going to be the Southern drawl
That's
preacher.
not even true. You're the hot preacher.
Stop saying it. We have talked about that. Stop it.
Oh gosh. All right. Let's see. Debbie. Oh, here we go. Ritz. I think the H is probably silent. So let's say Debbie Ritz. Am I right? Am I wrong? You let me know because I don't want to butcher it. I've practiced people's names wrong and then continue to say them. She said, such a nice discussion on making a space a reflection of the things you love. I'm probably a little bit of both of you and in a lot of ways very different. I'm like Justin because I like things clean and for things not to be a mess. I'm a lot like Kelly because I love her passion for decorating and making her house a home. On ways that we're different, I love Hobby Lobby and I decorate for every holiday. I do love knickknacks and make my home inviting for my kids and grandkids. Through the years, my husband kind of let me do my thing and decorate how I wanted. He was so helpful. He never questioned how I decorated, but always told me how nice things looked. I had a collection of things I loved and created the wall groupings in our home that reflected the love I had for God and family.
And I appreciate that very much. As long as we just keep encouraging let's not clutter it. Let's keep it.
Do I clutter things though? I actually declutter. I got rid of 2 bookshelf ladders because my goodness, they looked like a clutter fest.
I'm with you.
I am all about decluttering.
until you go to Hobby Lobby. Until you go
But
to
even
Hobby
then,
Lobby.
it's still not cluttered.
How many candles we got?
How many candles do we have out?
How many candles? We
No,
could
no, no,
stock.
no.
If Hobby Lobby wanted to open a new store, we could stock their candle department.
We have like maybe 5 candles. And some of them are in the
We have
storage room.
candles in multiples of 5.
That's not true. That's simply not true.
Shelley Feudman.
Yeah, Justin, I definitely agree with you. I grew up having to wear dresses all the time. You need to show us your dance from the wedding. Line dance is fun. You guys can learn 2-stepping.
I don't want a 2-step.
Don't do 2-step. And cowboy princess, sweetheart. Spin around. Okay. Anyways.
Notice she just she rolls past it. Like she just doesn't even pay attention. I could say it however I want. She's like, yeah, we're going to get you a cowboy hat and get you line dancing.
Yeah. Bar party, you would look really good in a cowboy hat.
Y'all quit with the cowboy hat.
Thank you, Barb. I'm just
I don't know
saying.
what GIF Jody Ballard sent there, but
It's
it's
payback time, baby.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Jody. All right, y'all. Thanks for your comments. If you want us to read your comments, leave them below. You can just go through the episode with us and chit chat with us, and we do read them, and we love them. They're so fun to read throughout the week. The fact that you guys stay with us, I know I say it all the time, but
I know.
I love that you guys hang out with us and you chat with us on the comment section. So, yeah.
Yeah. And someone just the other day said something to me. I think it was a guy. And they're like, well, on your one podcast. And I'm like, you of all people watch the podcast? That is crazy.
You know,
And so we have a lot of closet
are,
people. I need you guys to.
You guys are you men are the happy chaos closet watchers.
Yes.
And I get it. I mean, there's some pink in the sign, and there's some lovey-dovey stuff.
But he needs some bro.
That's right. And at the end of the day, I'm trying to help you guys. Listen, we did this. We had a thing at our church Friday night where we brought in Gary Chapman, which was awesome. If you don't know who Gary Chapman is, he wrote The 5 Love Languages, very famous, popular.
Such a sweet guy.
Book. He really was really awesome guy and did a great job.
Yeah,
and so
he's funny.
Yeah, he is. And he came out, so he did a thing from about 7 to 9, and the first one he did was on love languages. The second one he did was on apology languages. And both Kelly and I just left that
feeling renewed.
Yeah, and really feeling, I don't know, I felt really encouraged to hear. I knew it. I knew all those things. We've talked about it, but to hear him speak on it and then kind of walk away and think about our relationship.
Yeah.
Anyways, my point is we walked away from that, both of us saying without prompting from the other one that we want to actively work on our relationship.
Yeah.
And I would so encourage that. 5 love languages is one way to do it.
Yep.
I get nothing out of telling you that. It really is accurate.
Yeah.
And this one of the things that's shocking to me about the 5 love languages is how accurate.
Yep.
When you really start paying attention, like, man, he's kind of spot on. That matches and that matches up and that matches up. And
I love what he said in the beginning. He said that people don't tell you that the infatuation wears off and then it's real deal and that you fight. People are going to fight and have fight, and I love that because we do need to prep young couples for what's to come so they don't feel like they're like,
and he
doing
did
a poor job or something.
He did such a good job of presenting that as like, you're going to have these fights, but he's like, some of them are stemming from the fact that you love this person, but you're not loving them the way that they feel loved.
Yes.
And so he gave these great examples about how, like one about him and his wife and how, he was constantly telling her, because words of affirmation is his love language.
Yes.
And so he's constantly telling her how much he loves her, how much he loves her. He's just oodling over her, how much he loves her. And finally she looks at him one day and she's like, if you love me so much, why don't you just
help around the house?
Yeah. Why don't you vacuum a floor or clean a toilet or something? If you love me so much, why don't you do something?
Yeah.
And this was before he knew anything about love languages, but he was describing how she is an acts of service kind of person. The 5 love languages are physical touch, acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation, and gifts, giving gifts. And so, and he just described that scenario, and it's so funny because truthfully, that really is me. That's me and Kelly.
Yeah.
She wants the words, and I'm acts of service. And so I constantly, for me, am trying to show Kelly that I love her through the things that I do for her. And so even when we were dating, even before we were dating, even when I was hanging around her and I'm doing things for her, I'm always doing them for her because I was growing in this care for her and this love for her. And then to the point that I'm like, okay, I am in love with this woman. And to show her that I'm in love with her, I'm over there fixing her, lights in our house, or I'm, working on our car for her in her driveway, or I'm helping her move something, or helping her, take care of a, whatever, anything. It didn't matter. For me, it was, I'm doing those things to show her that I care for her. And for her, honestly, if I did none of those things, but I just gushed with sweet nothings, she'd be okay with that. And I'm the equal opposite. I'm like, words are cheap. I'm just speaking for myself. Like, I don't want to be saying something and then not showing you. I feel like actions speak louder than words. But truthfully, for Kelly,
It's about the words.
it is like the words mean so much more for her, which is why cards mean so much to her. If you get a card or, whatever. Anyways, so, we're trying to actively work on that. I think that's
He's doing
good
a
place
really
to be.
great job. I just have to say, he is. I don't know. It just made me reflect too and think about even before the five love languages event that we had, like how much he pours into my love languages and how much I can see him trying in all these different ways and stuff. And
I'm not always great, but I do try.
he's awesome. Best husband ever.
What about these other husbands?
They're not as good as you. I'm sorry, ladies.
She didn't mean that, y'all.
You think your husband's better than him? I hope.
You should.
Because if you don't, we got beef.
If you don't, you need to read the 5 love languages.
If you think my husband is better than yours,
It's a
we
good
have
point.
beef.
Right. You should all be singing my dog's better than your dog.
Yeah, you guys need to lift up your husband, even if which they are imperfect. None of them are perfect, but even if they're like in a season of like, gosh, my husband just can't do anything right, or my wife can't do anything right, lift them up. Lift them up to God, and lift them up like, don't let their actions reflect how you act, or you want to be the best you can be.
Yep.
And that will bring the other person.
So often, if you will just think about yourself, not in the sense of doing things for yourself, but think about, like, work on yourself.
Yes.
If you will work on yourself, work on the way you react,
Yeah.
work on the way that you speak.
It can change everything.
I'm telling you, you can change everything.
Yeah.
And if you will serve the other person, if you will genuinely ask, okay, how can I serve them better? Even if it's not acts of service, but in my mind, one of the things that I took away from Friday was a fresh reminder of, like, words mean a lot to Kelly. And so I can be, for lack of a better term, I can be the strong silent type. I know that I talk a lot, and I'm in the pulpit, but when I'm out of the pulpit and when I'm home, and the more relaxed I get, the quieter I will become. I just will naturally, I don't know, just kind of be. I don't run around. I don't cause the chaos.
Yeah.
I don't cause the loud.
Yeah.
It happens sometimes, and I don't mind it, and I'll jump in with it. But if you leave me to myself, I can go a whole day with hardly speaking and be good with that. I'm not aiming to go say something. It's not like I want to hear myself talk. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah.
So I have to.
I was just thinking about myself in that, like, but then I'll need every hour or so, like, are you mad at me? Is that why?
I was at a long lunch today. When I got home, I had a slew of texts, and I was trying to get through those texts. And so I was sitting in the car for a minute, and I was replying to all these text messages. I don't know how long I was there. I'll call it 5 minutes. And I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes in, and Kelly comes out in the garage right as I was opening the door. And I was like, oh, are you coming to check on me because I was taking too long? And she goes, yeah, I missed you.
I did.
Evidently, I was getting ready to come in.
I know, but still.
Oh, goodness. Anyways, I'm just trying to actively work on it. I have to think. I have to consciously think. Say the word. If I think it in my head, she doesn't hear it, and she doesn't see it in the things I do. Not saying that in a stab. It's just you don't feel it the same way. If I'm just doing stuff, sometimes in your mind, you're thinking I'm just busy doing stuff. And in my mind, I'm like, don't you see how much I love you? Look at all this stuff I do. So anyways.
So there's our love languages plug. Seriously,
or
it's
at
so
least
beneficial.
like mine is acts of service for sure. If you had to put a number one, it would be acts of service. For you, it is words of affirmation. The other things get blended inside of there. And, like acts of service and gift giving can totally go hand in hand. And I think that they do to some degree. But if you came down to it, I definitely serve more than I buy stuff or give stuff as a gift. For me, it's like, I cleaned up, or I built you this thing, or I fixed the whatever, you know, even though it's late at night, I crawl up.
And it's funny because I take him cleaning as an insult. I'm like, oh, he's bothered. Like he wants it done right now. Like I didn't do it fast enough.
But do you, like, after going to that event and hearing that and then looking
100%.
at it, do you kind of look at it a little different? Like, oh, he's
100%.
He's trying to show me and the family that he loves us and he's taking care of us.
Most definitely.
I think so. Hey, this whole thing's about jobs today, but we're talking about love languages now. That's the happy chaos side that just
Well, my
shows
job
up.
as a wife and your job as a husband.
Yeah,
I have to
right.
add that to my list.
Oh, I like it.
All right.
The
Start us out.
jobs. Oh, you're starting us out. You're going to name a place
All right.
that you've worked or that you haven't. It's up to you. You're going to name a place, and then I get to feed you a series of questions.
My first job.
Okay, here we go. Kelly's first job. We get a true or false here. We get to ask her some questions along the way. I get to ask her some questions along the way to find out if she's being honest. You got to turn that phone away from me a little bit. Okay, Kelly's first job.
Dairy Queen. I was 14, getting ready to turn 15.
So that would have been 75, 70.
That is so rude. That is so rude.
No, that would have been what, like 2001, 2002?
No, I was 18 in 2001. So
So it would have been
96, 97, 97, 96.
There's no way, because in 96.
In 93, I was 10.
I was 12 in 96. You had a job at 14?
Yes, I was getting ready to turn 15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Me and my
12,
friends.
You got your first job?
Me and my friend / boyfriend, like it was very like innocent young boyfriend, but we were best friends too. And we used to sit at my
what was
house.
his
name? Anthony. We used to sit at the house and we would go through the phone book, the yellow pages, calling everyone, asking what time, what age they hire at. And this was when I was 13. I was like, please hire me. I want a job so bad.
You know, I remember being that when I was 15. When I was 15, I knew you could work in Kentucky at 15. And I wanted that so bad. And I remember my dad coming to me and he said, Justin, he said, when you start working,
you don't
will
stop.
He said, you will work for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
He said, this is the only time in your life that you get to not work and it's acceptable. And he said, and then from then on, you will work the rest of your life. Even after retirement, there will be something that you will do. You will work the rest of your life.
I don't want to work now.
And he said, so enjoy these days that you'll never get again. You never get these days again, and especially in your youth. And I'll tell you, that really stuck with me, and I've encouraged my sons the same thing. They've come to me at 14 and 15 and wanted to get a job. And other than like mowing lawns or walking dogs or something like that, I don't mind. Girls going and babysitting and boys going and mowing lawns. I'm all about that. Learn some entrepreneurship. But the idea of I'm going to go to a place and clock in and I'm going to trade time for money.
What do I say about a job? Why don't I want a job?
Kelly doesn't want to be told when she has to be there. She would love to come and work at a place where she could let you know when she's coming to work. And she loves the idea of working at a lot of places. We're actually looking at starting a thrift store at our church. Kelly would love to work at that thrift store on her terms.
Yes.
She wants to say, I'll see you here. And then when she gets there, if she decides that she's homesick or that she misses me,
I want to go.
she wants to be able to leave and no repercussions.
Yes. And like 2 hour max per shift.
She works a lot better with no accountability.
In more ways than one.
Financial accountability, don't need any of that. Time management accountability, don't need any of that. If she really wants to get the project done, she'll work me till 2 a.m. If she's iffy about it, 2 hours max, and we're done. All right, Dairy Queen.
Do you believe it?
15 years old. Just the 14 thing is the thing that's got me thrown in a loop. I think you could be lying because I don't know. I mean, Florida, y'all trying to be like a little Texas, you're so free, but you're not Texas. And so I don't know that I believe you could have got the job at 14. Did you turn 15 and get the job, or were you 14 and got the job?
14 and got the job.
And what about, I know someone who worked at Dairy Queen. Did you ever do the ice cream?
Yes.
And what did you tell me something about it?
You have to go. And then like this you had to make the little hook on the top of the ice cream. You had to. And it was also Dairy Queen / Orange Julius.
Oh boy.
There was no you not doing it. And you have to tip the blizzard even back then.
All right, hang on. Come back to the swirl at the top that you would make. If you made an ice cream, did you do training
Yes.
learn how to do the swirl?
Yes,
And did you
2 weeks of training.
to learn the swirl?
Not just the swirl, but all of the training. It was my first job.
And
but
when
still.
you did the swirl and you were training, did you throw the ice cream away, or everybody in the place got to eat it?
The swirl was easy, so it was just like a first time did it thing.
They didn't really like work through that. Because I know someone. My brother worked at Dairy Queen, and they had
Which one?
Chris.
Really?
Yeah, and he
Aw.
talked about how this is the thing. I'm gonna go with I think this is true because my brother he had to at Dairy Queen he had to learn that swirl on the ice cream, and he said when he didn't get it they just kept like doing another one, doing another one, doing another one, and they passed them out, and then when nobody wanted to eat anymore they just kept doing it until it and threw them away. Like they were that big on you have got to learn how to do that little swirl
It's true.
correctly.
And I am telling the truth. 100%.
But you're not supposed to tell us till the very end.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, we know the first one's true now.
All right, next one.
All right.
AMC movie theater.
How old were you?
15.
Still?
Yes.
When you worked at that one makes sense. I mean, a 15-year-old could work at a movie theater. What did you do at the movie theater? Did you clean the theaters?
I didn't do anything because I got hired there the same time, right after I got hired at Dairy Queen. But then they said that you have to be, or I think I was 14, and they said you have to be 15. And so I got the job at Dairy Queen at 14, and I still wasn't 15. And so I just stuck with Dairy Queen.
So you're telling me you got the job at AMC Theater, but you never worked it?
But I never worked it.
I'm going to go with false. And here's why I think false. Because why would you count that as a job that you had even though you didn't actually work there? And it seems like when I gave you questions and I started even just the littlest questions, you backed off of that and said,
Well,
"Oh,
you
I
are
never."
into this.
I'm just telling you, I think you're lying.
Okay.
And I'll tell you this: I worked when I was 16 years old, maybe 17. I don't know why. I'm telling you, I wanted to be an electrician. That's what I wanted to do.
Interesting. I don't even know that about you.
Yep, I was like, I want to be an electrician. And I just loved the idea of it. I don't know why. Now that I know more about, like that sort of trade work, and not saying anything about you electricians. I just mean in the sense of like it wasn't what was in my head. In my head, like I loved electronic things. I loved gadgets, and I loved, I think I would have loved more like working on computers now, but I didn't see it that way. In my mind, I was like, oh, I just would love to be an electrician. Anyways, there was a guy who was an electrician, and he gave me a chance, and he brought me on. I was going to be an apprentice. He was going to pay me $15 an hour, and that was back when minimum wage was like $5.25, and that's what I was making anywhere else.
It was $5.15 when I started.
So I'm going to go work for this guy. He's going to pay me $15 an hour, and I went and I worked with him for one day. And we were working at this church, and he had me pulling some wire, and he shows me how to make the shepherd's hook with the wire and to put on the outlets, which was all fine. I didn't mind any of that. But the working conditions were not what I expected. Like there were guys doing drywall there, and they were up on stilts in a church smoking weed while they were, and my little sheltered self, I was devastated. And then a guy said a cuss word, and I'm like, 16, 17 years old, and I was like, this is a church. I was so mad. This guy was smoking weed, and this guy's cussing, and so I think like that was kind of a bad experience, bad taste in my mouth of that. And then it also was like, it's not the type of I think I liked electronics, but equated it to electrical. I didn't want to be like in the cold in the winter with no heat, pulling wire in a construction site. So anyways, I only worked it for one day.
Okay.
And
am I supposed to say that was true or false? Because I believe it.
No, I wasn't. I was just telling you a story because you were telling me about how you didn't even work for a day. But I'd never told anyone that I worked. He didn't even pay me, by the way, for the day that I did go in and work because it was lunchtime, and he told me that I could take an hour for lunch and come back, and I just didn't come back. And I saw him at church the next Sunday, and I felt really bad.
We're about to get to one of those in my
Oh, boy.
job
All right. Sorry, this isn't my work experiences. These are Kelly's. My bad. Continue on.
All right, next.
We have a true that she confirmed is true, Dairy Queen. Then she said AMC movies, which I say is a lie. I don't think that's true. Go ahead.
Subway.
What's their slogan?
Eat fresh.
Okay. But you might know that from other places.
I had to wear a visor.
I was going to ask, did you have to wear some sort of a hat or a visor?
Mm-hmm.
And what color was it?
Green.
Did you have more than one?
No.
Did you have to wear some sort of a schmuck?
Yes.
I
I don't remember what color or anything though. Gosh.
Did you have to wear like a uniform shirt?
Yep.
How long did you work there?
I want to say maybe 2 months, maybe.
2 months at the Subway.
Maybe a little bit
what
longer.
Was your
My
favorite,
family would come in and I would make them subs and
What was your favorite sub to make?
probably the Italian.
What was your favorite sub to eat?
Italian BMT.
That's probably what was your favorite. That makes sense. Huh.
I had to bake the bread.
You baked the bread.
Yeah, you had to put it in these.
I hear that scientifically they don't even count that as bread because it has so much sugar content.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's true or not.
But yeah, and you put it in their big oven, you set it, and then you have to take it out and put it in the cooling case.
Did you know that Subway got sued because somebody measured their footlongs and they weren't quite a foot long? They were like 11 inches or something, and they were like, "Oh, they're advertised as a foot, but they're not actually a foot."
They'll get you. They'll get you every time.
I feel like that's kind of silly.
All right, Judge.
I say true.
Okay.
You're pretty confident about all your answers. How old were you?
Probably 15, 16.
Still 15?
15, 16.
So you actually worked this one at 15. That's the only thing throwing me off right now. We're claiming, but you said 15, maybe 16.
I worked at Dairy Queen for like
Did you drive when you went to Subway? Or
3 months.
Did you drive yet, or did your family have to drop you off?
My family. My mom.
I'm still sticking with true. True, false, true.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
McDonald's. For 2 weeks.
Here she goes. 2 weeks.
I was 16.
16 McDonald's, 2 weeks. What'd you do there?
I worked drive-through.
You worked drive-through in the first 2 weeks. They put you in the busiest spot in the
My
house?
brother was the manager. Yes, they did.
Okay. Because you, at this point,
And
I guess Dairy
his
Queen
new
had some
wife
drive-through
was the
experience.
manager. They were both managers.
Wait, your brother and his wife were managers?
Yeah. Yep.
Starting to sound fishy. What was their slogan?
Babe, ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. I'm loving it. And listen, the uniform was purple and black at the time.
Ooh, I remember purple and black.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that the McDonald's, that their Monopoly game was all a big fraud?
Yeah, I know.
There's a whole documentary. It was all a fraud.
Yep.
You never could have won.
I also worked the line.
Yeah, did you fry anything or was it all in the microwave?
Fry.
You know, now it's all in the microwave.
No, it's not.
I don't even think they have a grill top in there.
Yes, they do.
I don't think they do. Anybody work at McDonald's? You want to chime in?
They
here?
have a grill top, babe. Look in there next time you look. They do. You can see them frying the burgers.
No.
And then they have the clear or yellow bins that you put all the patties in.
Mm-mm.
Yes or no?
I think it's
do you
all
believe
microwave.
me?
Yeah, I kind of do. I think true, false, true, true.
Kmart.
This is questionable because we lived during a time when Kmart was around, even though now
Little Caesars was in our Kmart. I ordered cheeseless pizzas when I was working. I was 17 years old.
I've never
I
seen
wore
a
a
Kmart
red-
with a Little Caesars in it.
Well, it did. I wore a little red vest. I had to wear a black shirt
How long
and
did you
black
work there?
black bottoms. About a year.
Did you like it?
I did. I did.
Were you still a teenager?
And I worked in the garden section of Kmart.
Don't you know that all the Christians boycotted Target or Kmart?
I did not know that.
Yeah, they had a books company called Blue Moon Books, and they were these like racy adult books, and they pretty much pornographic type of literature. And so I don't know if it was like Focus on the Family or somebody. And now I'm saying all this out loud. I only know this hearsay. I was a kid, but everybody around here was like, Kmart is what Target is current. Some people are like, we're not shopping at Target. Same way with Kmart.
See, I don't remember any of that, but so here was Kmart.
Yeah.
The McDonald's was in the same parking lot that I worked at, and so was Movie Gallery, which we're going to get to.
Look, you had 90s Christian parents like I did, and 90s Christian parents were the most Christian parents.
I was 17. My family was a little broken at this time, but
So Kmart could have been allowed. Because if you were in the middle of 90s Christian parents, you were not getting to Kmart. So I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say false because I think
I wore a little black skirt
I
and a black top.
you
And-
wore a little black skirt at
Yep.
Kmart.
Yep. And
Lies.
a red vest.
Lies.
I was at my thinnest.
Lies.
Okay.
She's telling lies.
All right. So
Here's what I'm saying.
Well,
lies.
we need to mark the ones that you think are lies.
Yes, please do. So I have what did I say was a lie? The second one was
AMC.
AMC movie theater.
And now Kmart.
Kmart. That's a lie. And I'll tell you why. Because you have 90s Christian parents. And so your parents would have stopped you. No one would have let their child, no Christian family would let their child work at Kmart in the late 90s. You started working at like 93 or whatever it was.
1999, 2000.
I didn't even have my license yet.
So you say that's a lie.
I
Next
was
one.
right at 2000. I was getting my license.
Walmart.
Kmart
Twice.
and Walmart. Walmart twice as in you quit and then came right back?
Not right
Are we
back.
counting that you got the job and then they said
No.
you didn't have the job?
I
and
went
next
through
day
the
you did?
training, which they have a very long training.
Rigid training at Walmart?
Yeah, like you had to sit in the back and watch videos, fill out all kinds of paperwork, do the whole like OSHA stuff, and
You know,
gosh.
I've seen you
And
get mad
that
at
job
Walmart.
was so miserable.
I've seen you get mad at Walmart employees, and I feel like if this was true, you would have sympathy for them. But you don't have sympathy for them. You are very hard on the wall. But then again, some people are like that. Like, I've done your job, and I know how it's not as bad as you're making it out to be. So maybe you're like that. But you've never said that around me. You've never said that you worked at Walmart. Did you do the customer service, or did you work as a cashier?
Cashier.
Did you ever stock?
No, except my aisle. Like when you didn't have someone coming through, and I worked from 6 to 12:30 at night.
What was their slogan? What was their slogan
Babe,
at Walmart?
I don't know.
I don't think they had one.
But I had to stock the gum and like the chips and stuff right there in the aisle when nobody was like around. You had to act like you were working.
So you know that's how they got famous, Walmart?
What?
Rollback prices. It's like I want to say it was like in the 30s, 1930s maybe, whatever it was. So Sam Walton bought us like it's called like the Benjamin Franklin store or something like that, and it was this store that was kind of dying, and he takes this shot in the dark and does something that was unheard of then. Now people do it now in business, but he takes a shot in the dark and he lowered all the prices even though the store was struggling. You would think the store's struggling, raise your prices so that you'd sell the stuff for more, get more money.
That's funny that you knew his name was Sam Walton.
Mm-hmm. Sam's Club.
We had to learn all about that.
Did you really learn about all this? So he had this Benjamin Franklin store and he lowered the prices, and he went from having the worst store in the town that nobody shopped at and was going under. He lowers the prices and it becomes known that he's got these lowered prices than everybody else. And so then he ends up making like double or triple what all the best stores are making. And so, but then something came around and it was supposed to renew his lease and they wouldn't renew his lease. And that's what kind of forced his hand to start the Sam Walton stores, or what now became Walmart's. That's a true story.
And now am I telling a true story?
I'm gonna go
blue vest.
I'm gonna go with yes on this one, only because I think Kmart was a bold-faced lie, and I think you're only saying Kmart because Walmart was true. So I'm going to go with yes.
Okay.
I think it's true. I think Walmart is a true. I think you really did work there in the year 2000 or 1999.
Okay.
Did you experience Y2K at Walmart?
No.
Remember Y2K? Everybody thought all the computers were going to shut down.
I'd experienced that at Movie Gallery. That's my next one.
Oh boy. Are you going in order?
Almost. Then there's one that I was going to, but it's down the line that I remembered. And so no,
How
they're
many
not
are we
on
at so
order.
far?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're on number 7.
And how old are you? How old are you at the point of number
18.
7?
You had to be 18 to work at Movie Gallery.
Oh boy. And this is what you're saying right now is Movie Gallery?
Yes.
You know, I have inside information about this one, and so I'm going to go with yes. I'm not saying you slipped up, but you've said before when I worked at Movie Gallery, and so I know this one is a yes because you talked about.
I was the top sales in our area for when we sold those yellow movie tickets where you buy. It was $20, $19.99,
Yeah.
and you got 10 movie rentals.
Oh,
Yeah.
you had the golden ticket.
Yep.
What was?
Be kind or wine.
Okay, that's true. That was her slogan. But I was going to say, what was your favorite movie at the movie gallery that you like constantly went and took every time it came in? You checked it out.
I don't remember, but I'll tell you. Well, one of them, it's not appropriate. So, Wedding Crashers.
For shame, for shame.
I know, but
I've never seen that movie, but I
You
do
don't
feel
want
like
to.
it
It's
came
a
out
little-
later than what is that? 2001, 2002.
2001. It was. I'll tell you what. 9/11 happened while I was working.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going with true because I have inside information on the movie gallery.
In fact, when my mom was a manager at the other movie gallery, and she would, if we had a backup plan if we were being robbed, and we would call the other person and say Ronan's in. Ronan was the name of a movie, and we would say Ronan's in if we were being robbed. That was our backup plan.
You were going to say that to your mom?
Yeah.
You and your mom made a backup plan if you were being robbed at the did movie gallery get robbed a lot in Florida?
No, but it has been robbed.
I saw a newspaper clipping one time that says Florida man robbed Wendy's with alligator.
Yeah, that stuff happens.
And I'm still confused on whether or not he robbed the store like with an alligator, as in, like,
or his pet was with
or
him.
if his partner was the alligator. It's like man,
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
man and alligator. I don't know which way that went.
All right, number 8. Blockbuster.
Do you see what she's doing here? Kmart, Walmart, movie gallery, Blockbuster. You're not fooling me with the
Blockbuster was probably 3 months I worked there.
And why did you leave the movie gallery to go to the Blockbuster?
I don't know. I didn't go one directly after the other, but I think I enjoyed movie gallery so
Do
much.
you believe in this? Enjoyed movie gallery. Then
I
why not just stay there?
did.
Why not just stay?
Things happened, but I enjoyed movie gallery a lot. My job there, I got to interact
Did
with
you give
people.
movie gallery 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Why didn't you just go back?
I don't know, babe. It wasn't the
I
same.
call bull.
So you don't think Blockbuster's true?
I don't think you went to the Blockbuster.
All right.
What color was the Blockbuster card?
Blue and yellow.
You probably just guessing from their sign. You remember in their sign. I'm still sticking with no. That was a bad question. I could probably come up with better questions.
Okay.
How many days were you allowed to check out a movie at movie gallery?
You had 3-day rentals. You had 2-day rentals, 3-day rentals. You could pay for
And
a
how much
fourth
did they
day.
cost?
It was $3.99 for one night,
And how about Blockbuster?
and then $1 for every extra night.
What about
I don't
Blockbuster?
remember.
I don't remember. She can recall movie gallery to the penny.
That's because when we were selling the cards, it
penny.
came out to $21.39 with tax, and I would say, "This is how much you're
She's
saving. You're
making
getting
my point.
You're getting 4 free."
She's making my point. Blockbuster is a no.
Okay.
You can't remember because you didn't work there.
All right.
All right, false.
Number 9, Hometown Grill. And they also had Hometown Pizza, not to be confused with our Hometown Pizza. Because it was
So
local,
they're saying
it
this
was
is
a
a
locally
locally
owned,
restaurant.
one-off.
This is hard for me to be able to guess because
It was a breakfast and lunch restaurant. I made good tips.
I know.
I made like $70 a day in tips,
Wow.
working 7 a.m. to 2.
So this is interesting because I worked at Perkins Restaurant and I made
That's another job that I had. Perkins, not the restaurant.
Do y'all even believe this right now? Okay. I worked at Perkins Restaurant. I was 17 and I made between $50 and $60 a night in tips. And everybody was always shocked. They were always like, how do you make so much in tips? I don't make that much. But it was all because they smoked too much. They all just took too many smoke breaks. And so
Mine was because everyone told me I had a really cute smile, and so.
well, I think girls have a little bit easier of a time. Y'all get easier tips than we get. Guys it's like our steps, like I walk the same amount as you, but my steps say less.
Definitely.
I get as many tables as the waitresses, and yet I would get less. It's just the way it was.
Eggs over easy, over hard, scrambled.
The number I'm going to go with true on this one. And the reason I'm saying true is because the number you threw out at $70 a day, knowing that I worked at a little, like a Shoney's, I worked at Perkins and I made $50 to $60 a day when I was 17. You were at this point about 20.
Nope. I told you they're not all in order.
Oh, how old were you when you worked here?
17.
back to 17. I think the numbers add up, that $70 a day, because I think that if you worked at a restaurant today, I think $70 a day would be nothing. I don't think that would.
So do you think that I worked at the Hometown Pizza right next door also, which they opened up after Hometown Grill?
Is this you telling
My
me?
boss's name was Meredith. There was a guy named Tim that worked at the pizza place. He was the manager. He left and opened his own place, which I worked at, and I have down the list.
All right. Do we see this again? Kmart, Walmart, Movie Gallery, Blockbuster, Hometown.
You got to hit them
Grill,
all, babe. You gotta hit
Hometown
'em
Grill,
all.
Hometown Pizza.
Which was right next to Movie Gallery, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the
In
question
the Publix
is,
Plaza.
so I'm going to put two on the table at the same time here, and I'm gonna say one of these is a lie. I just don't know which one it is yet. I do know that your favorite food is pizza. Mm-hmm. It makes sense to me that you worked at Hometown Pizza, but here's the thing. We have a Hometown Pizza here, and you've never once have we driven by and you were like, I worked at a Hometown Pizza. Not even close. Now, there's other places like Movie Gallery that you've thrown out that you've worked there.
But listen, they didn't do very well. Their breakfast run, they changed owners.
Yeah.
They opened up a pizza place next door, right next door. Same plaza.
Yeah.
And I worked at Hometown Grill longer than I worked at Hometown Pizza.
I'm going to go with that. I believe the Hometown Grill is the correct answer. That's the truth. Hometown Pizza is a lie because you would have said, there's no way we have Hometown Pizzas around us, and you've never said, I worked at a Hometown Pizza. I know you. So no Hometown Pizza. Yes, Hometown Grill. You worked at Hometown Grill, and then you tried to make up a little story to fool us all and tell us Hometown Pizza, but it's not true.
Number 11.
Let's see how well I know. How many are we going to do here?
As many as I had.
You're going to do the whole list?
Yeah, so we got to kind of be like, yes
I know
or no.
I know that she's got a lot of places that she's worked. I don't know if we can get through this list.
Number 11, Steak and Shake. My uniform was a white collared shirt with a bow tie, a red bow tie, and a black apron. You had to wear black pants. You had to wear slip-resistant shoes. I worked there with my sister and my brother. He was the manager again, same one that was the manager at McDonald's. He was the manager, and his friend Jose was the manager.
I don't think you're good at lying. You see, when you're trying to link these things, my brother's a manager again. I'm working under my brother, the manager. How old were you when you worked there? I made good tips. At Steak and Shake?
Yep, 19 years old.
19 years old at the Steak and Shake.
Yep.
And your brother, he's apparently job hopping with you.
He's a
you
job
guys,
hopper.
y'all are just.
He was a job hopper.
Y'all are just
for
hopping
sure.
everywhere. You can't even stick with a job.
Yeah, no.
I mean, if they'd let you come in when you want and leave when you want. Give you no accountability.
Oh gosh, I made about the same in tips, about $70 a night. Sometimes 100, just depended.
Oof, you're throwing out some big numbers now.
Mm-hmm.
Again, here's a struggle I have. We have Steak and Shakes around here. We've been to Steak and Shake, both inside and drive-through. Never have you ever said anything about working at Steak and Shake.
I have, you just didn't pay attention.
Ooh, you took a dig right there.
I most definitely have talked about Steak and Shake. In fact, there's a story about Steak and Shake that I've told you, but I'm not going to discuss that on film.
This is not film.
It is.
Nobody uses film. I'm not going to do this while we're taping. Not if we're taping. We're taping this thing.
Stop.
And now I'm
yes
curious,
or no?
I'm going to go with yes because of the way you're describing it. But I do seriously question that one, and I'm curious now what the story is because I'm like,
I'll tell you after.
I remember the stories you tell me. I would remember this.
Oh, it'll probably click with you when I do.
Okay.
All right, next one, TGI Fridays.
Yes. I'll tell you why. Because we went to a TGI Fridays and you were like, I didn't even know these were around. We went to one in an airport when we were going somewhere, Colorado, I think, just this past year. And you were like, I worked at a Fridays.
And it was me and Jonathan's first date, too, at one of those.
Okay. TGI Fridays.
All right, you believe me. I love it.
I'm going with Fridays.
All right, TJ's Pizza. TJ's Pizza is Tim, who left Hometown Pizza as a manager and opened up his own. Best, and he's a New Yorker, and he's a New Yorker, and he makes the best pizza ever. TJ's Pizza in Sebastian, Oh my word.
So I know that Kelly worked at a pizza place because when I met her,
That was Caps. That's further on down the line.
and she talked about him being a New Yorker and all this other
too.
stuff. So no, you didn't work at TJ's Pizza, and it's the same guy.
It's not. It's the same guy from
Does
Hometown Pizza.
Does every
not
guy?
Caps Pizza.
I just have this picture. I wish I had something around here.
I can
could grab.
still see Tim's face right now.
I have this picture in my mind that you're in there talking, and here's this guy. What kind of pizza you want?
He had a mouth on him.
You want a pepperoni?
He cussed like a sailor.
You want a pepperoni
It
pizza?
was bad.
Did you like math?
Yes. That's exactly what it was like. Only he cussed a lot.
But you said the same thing about Caps.
No, Caps didn't cuss a lot.
You said that they cussed a lot in there.
Yeah.
That's
The workers do.
No.
I wouldn't say the owner.
TJ's
cussed too
Pizza
much.
is a lie. TJ's Pizza is a lie. Do not believe her. Do not fall for this.
Wow.
Listen, she's good. She's good at games like this. We've played little games, little board games and stuff where you have to try to trick the person. Don't be fooled. We have this one called, I want to say it's Heads Up 7 Up, but that's not what it is.
Jokers and Marbles.
No, what's the one where we all put our heads
where we have to
down?
lie. Werewolf. Midnight.
Yeah.
One night.
One Night Werewolf. And you have to kind of role play and try to, I don't know, convince people or trick people or whatever. And she's very good at this. Don't you let her fool you.
All right, he says no.
TJ Pizza is a no.
Beachside real estate. I worked there for a week. It was right on the beach. I was so happy to work on the beach. Except I worked for an old lady. She was the only one in the real estate office, and I had no real estate experience. She knew that when she hired me. Okay. I went home crying and never went back for my paycheck, my week's paycheck, because I was so upset. I called my mom, I'm like, I just want to go home, and she's like, just go. And I'm like, but then I have to face her, and I don't want to do that.
How old were you?
Gosh, I don't remember. I want to say 19, which is silly to be like that at 19, but I was. And she made me cry. She was screaming at me because I didn't file something correctly. And I'm like, I know nothing about real estate, literally nothing.
Oh. This sounds reasonable in the sense of you cry easily. And if someone snapped at you, or spoke harshly with you,
she was really mean.
It would cause you, because I think to myself, I'm like, if
There's another place.
If someone snapped at me and they like, if I was doing something and somebody kind of bit my head off or whatever,
this is crazy.
My reaction would not be to cry, but yours is to cry. And
you're never gonna believe this one that I just put down.
If you try to tell a story like my brother worked at another restaurant and he was the manager,
it's
and he hired me. I'm not going to believe it.
It's possible, but this one that you're going to be like, I don't believe it at all because.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I do believe Beachside Realty because I know your personality and I know that she probably did make you cry.
She did.
So hopefully you're not playing one of those trickery games where you're like, it wasn't Beachside Realty, it was Sunnyside Bed and Breakfast. Then that doesn't count. Like you have to.
No, it's these are all the names. All right. Number 13, Longevity Spa and Fitness. And that was what Bonnie and Steve owned before they owned Lyft. It was an all-women's spa. Mm-hmm. My job was a trainer.
All right, so long as
women would come in, I would measure them and talk to them, ask them their goals. Then we would go out and I would show them how to lift weights.
If that's the truth, then how come when we met you were always asking me how to lift weights?
Because that's different.
She was
and there's
playing.
A bit of flirting there.
She was playing me. How do you do a curl?
What?
How do you do shoulder presses?
Is this how you do it? Do you believe me or not?
You've talked about Bonnie and Steve before. So long as you're not playing with Bonnie and Steve, by the way, we do some video workouts with them. And my late wife and I did that. And I knew that I didn't know her before, but then, after we met, we started talking and I talked about Bonnie and Steve. And then she mentioned that they were in Vero and
I went to their gym.
You went to their gym and all that. So I know that's gotta be true. I didn't know the name of the place. So long as you're just not playing games with the names, I do know that you worked at Bonnie and Steve. Let me ask you this.
Let's text Bonnie right now.
Is that the only Bonnie and Steve place you worked for? Or did you work at them at another place?
No, just Longevity Spa.
I'm going to go with yes.
My manager, her name was Kelly.
Although, wait. You told me before that they had Lyft. And I know they've talked about it on their videos. They have Lyft Vero.
I said that Lyft was open after Longevity. Longevity Spa and Fitness was an all-women's gym.
Okay.
They
All right.
closed that. It was 2-story. They have
Okay.
an indoor pool.
Okay.
They have spa, everything. They moved to Lyft, opened up Lyft, and it was all men and women.
All right. I'm going to go with yes.
And they had
Longevity?
tire exercises at Longevity.
Tire exercises at
You
the
know, with
women
the
place?
the huge tires.
Why'd you have to say that? I don't believe
Because
that.
it's true.
I don't Longevity Spa, and they're out there hitting tires with sledgehammers.
No,
Flipping them around.
Yeah, flipping them. They had those kind of workouts.
I know Steve has those, but I don't. I'm still gonna go with yes, but gosh, that's kind of weird that they had those kind of workouts.
All right, nail salon.
Yeah,
I worked at Gloss. I worked at the one before. Remember when
I-
I started talking to you and you encouraged me to re-up my nail license, and I started working there where I got my nails done. I worked for them for a little bit.
Yeah. I know that you were a nail tech.
Roxy's Nail Salon. I worked there for a little
How
bit.
many nail places would you say you've worked at?
4.
I'm gonna go with yes.
Is
on
that 4
one.
separate jobs?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to put times 4. So that just put me to the 40 mark.
No, you done told them. All right, I think we need to wrap this game up.
No, not yet.
All right, what do you want to get to? You better get to them.
Hair salon.
Again, no, because you told no. I'm going with no. Wait, what did you do there?
I shampooed.
Do you all know? Do you have to have a license or whatever to shampoo? Because
No.
I know for a fact that Kelly has gone to barbering school.
I worked for this guy named Jeff Fava. He had long blonde hair. He kind of looked like Joe Dirt, but not as dirty. But he had the long blonde hair.
Looked like Joe
He
Dirt
was
had a French
skinny.
accent.
And I was his assistant, and so I would shampoo. I would book clients for him.
But you didn't cut hair.
No.
Because I know that she's been to barbering school multiple times and never has been able to finish because of that whole don't give me the accountability of.
Yes, but I did not do hair there. Except wash.
All right, I'm gonna go with true again, but only because you backed off. But I think I ruined that. I think she's probably lying, and she didn't expect me to call out the fact that she.
How do I remember his name? Jeff Fava.
You can make up any name. I worked for Timothy LaHaye.
Anyways,
I think that's an author.
Seaside Pediatric Dentist.
I know that you worked for some dentists, a dental assistant when you came
That's
here.
where I
even.
interned and I got hired my
I'm gonna
first job.
go with yes. Yeah, I think you did work there.
Senior Life Services.
You worked at Senior Life Services.
Yes.
Why'd you
My
quit?
mom worked there too.
What?
That's
Here
where-
we go. My
Hold
brother
on.
worked there.
Listen.
My mom worked there.
That's where I met Jonathan, except I met him at the gym, but he was mowing the lawn there with his family. And his mother and his stepmom worked inside there. Remember I told you she told him, oh, there's some girls interested in you, but it was only me that was interested in
You
him.
told me that you saw him at the gym.
I did. That's where I met him. That's where he asked me out. But I saw him, remember, at Senior Life Service Milan. I said, oh, who's the cute lawn boy? And they said, that's Shelly's son. And I found out Shelly's his stepmom. And she said, because my friend Michelle, who is like 10 years older than me, she called Shelly.
Cut the charades. No.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. She told me she met him at the gym.
I did, babe. But I
And-
saw
and
him for the first time
I-
at Senior Life Services.
And I noticed the trend here.
I cried on the bench there to
My-
my mom, and I said, I'm never going to find somebody. I'm never going to get
mom,
married.
My brother. I don't believe it. Your story, you're just too much interaction with your family. Come up with a different story. I'm not going to believe that.
All right.
All right.
Sally
we-
Beauty.
We need to wrap this thing up.
I
Sally,
was pregnant. Oh, no.
What'd you do
I
there?
didn't know I was pregnant, and then I found out I was pregnant
That's
with
not the
Kaylee.
point. What did you do there?
I was a cashier.
All right, I'll go with yes.
Winn-Dixie. Cashier.
Hold on. I don't even think there are Winn-Dixies in Vero.
It was Sebastian. Most of these jobs are Sebastian, because that's when I lived in Sebastian. But they still have a Winn-Dixie there. They still have one in Vero, yes.
Ooh, no, y'all are Publix people in Florida.
There's Winn-Dixie too, babe.
Kmart, Winn-Dixie, no.
Okay.
Anything that she's trying to tie together like this, I'm going with no.
Cap's Pizza.
I know you worked there, yes.
Vesta Properties. That's where I worked before I moved here.
Yeah, I remember that.
Chili's. Worked there before I moved here.
Yes, again, it's a yes.
Wawa.
You've told me that you worked there because they're looking at building one here in Kentucky.
And we
you're
had to learn all
excited.
about the V and the geese and why they fly like that. And I loved that job.
Do you know why sometimes there's one side is longer? Like if you look at it, you see the geese and there's like they're making their V and sometimes one side is longer. Do you know why that is?
I don't remember, babe. They told us all about that.
Because there's more birds on that side.
Anyways, well, they told us about how the front bird will get tired and it'll drop to the back
Yeah.
and then let somebody else leave.
That happens. Bicyclists do that same thing because the bicyclist in the front is getting the most drag, and so it's the hardest. But if you get kind of in the middle,
You get behind-
there's kind of
just
like
like
a
behind a
rhythm.
semi.
Yeah, there's kind of like a rhythm that you kind of are in their pull. So
Yeah.
what'll happen is somebody will be in the front for a while, and then they'll drop off and let somebody else take the front, and then kind of pull. Anyways, I'm
Wawa,
telling you,
yes or
we
no?
yes, to Wawa. We got to wrap this up.
McIntyre Dental, my first job here.
Yeah, I knew that. Is that the one that I shook on the table?
Yes. It was cute.
I've had multiple most embarrassing moments of my life since meeting Kelly.
I don't think that's true. But
Threw up on a plane.
listen,
Most
we have to get
embarrassing
this
moment.
show on the road.
Listen, I went to her dental office per her request, and the lady's like, I should have taken the gas. I should have told him to give me the gas. I had had a tooth done before. I am petrified of needles. I was shaking so bad on that table. My feet were shaking. My arms were shaking.
Everything was shaking.
The lady was like, is he okay? Is he okay? And Kelly's like, I don't know.
I think so.
I can't believe she didn't break it off and be like, well, he's a weirdo loser.
No, definitely not.
He
He wouldn't even talk to me for like an hour after that because he was so embarrassed. And I'm like, that's so dumb. Like, why are you going to not talk to me? I was
because
like,
my
trying
body
to comfort
was
you.
trembling
So?
uncontrollably.
So?
Well, that was embarrassing. I told her, I was like, I will never come back to this dental office again. A grown man shaking like a dog. I'm like a dog in a thunderstorm.
I filled cavities. I did all kinds of stuff, which is kind of cool.
I know she worked there. That's a true.
Riverfront Grill. It was on the river, and I was only a hostess because I was like 16 years old, and you had to be 18 to be a waitress.
Ooh, we're back and
It was
way up here.
It was very fancy.
Okay, it's fancy. Why would it be river when y'all have all those oceans around?
Indian River, babe. We have the river and then the ocean right there.
Yeah.
It's,
Riverside sounds like a Kentucky thing. So I think that I'm just telling you, Riverside. And number two, when you got all this ocean, you have ocean front this, ocean view that.
We do have
bay
Ocean
this.
Grill.
Okay, so you have all those things. And so you're going to tell me you worked at Riverfront. You're going to tell me you're 16 and it was fancy. If it was fancy, why would they hire you at 16?
Because I was a hostess. They hire all the young girls for hostessing.
That could be true. But didn't you say you waited tables there?
No, just hosted there. You had to be 18 because they served alcohol.
All right, I'm going to go with yes again.
River Farm Nursery.
Oh, that was here. I
Yeah.
know that one because I know that.
All right, here's some you're not going to believe. Blue Cross and Blue Shield in Massachusetts when we moved up there for 3 months. I had to hold 2 jobs. Blue Cross and Blue Shield, and I worked at Braun's Tanning Salon. I would get off work at Blue Cross and Blue Shield. And I would come and go right to the tanning salon. And
What'd you
work
do
there
at Blue
until
Cross
10.
and Blue Shield?
I sat in a cubicle and had to answer phone calls. Miserable. And I wore sandals out on, we'd get little breaks. And I didn't smoke at the time, but I went out for a break and I was wearing sandals and everybody made fun of me because I was the Florida girl wearing sandals out in
Well,
Massachusetts cold weather.
All right. Even though it has nothing to do with the job, the sandal thing sounds accurate. So I'm going to go with yes.
And then the tanning salon?
I feel like you're doing the bundling thing, trying to trick me.
Call it what you want.
But I know you are a diligent worker. You're a hard worker if you're on a thing. And so if you had to have 2 jobs, you did say you'd move there for 3 months. So if you had just moved from Florida to Massachusetts, it's reasonable to think you would have had to have had a second job. So I'm going to go with yes.
Next, Gloss Spa, which
You already said
yeah.
yes. You already told me that.
Yeah, because I didn't know if I could couple all of the, if that was 4
Right.
different ones. High maintenance cleaning services.
The name alone,
I
high maintenance.
owned it.
You owned a cleaning service?
Yes.
I've never heard you say anything about that. I'm going to go with no. She's a liar.
All right.
Or at least she's lying about this. I'm telling you, let's wrap this thing up.
We're about to, babe. I'm trying.
Let's do it.
High maintenance landscape. Jonathan and me.
I know you had a landscape company, so unless you're playing with the name, I'm going with yes.
Eckerd Pharmacy. I was a pharmacy tech.
I think you have to have some schooling to do that. I don't think
Call
you
it
can
what
just.
you want.
I don't think you can just go be a pharmacy. And
Probably
I think
most boring job.
I think they get paid pretty high amounts of money.
It was
don't
like
they?
$16 an hour back then, and I was 18-ish. Yeah, I was
18 and she got hired as a pharmacy tech. I think you have to have schooling. I'm going with no. I think that's a lie. I don't think you can do that. I was a doctor for 3
We only have 1, 2,
weeks.
3, 4, 5 more. A clothing store in the mall that I just told you about upstairs, where I bought all my clothes.
Oh, okay. I'll go with yes then.
Learning Nest Daycare. I taught the
Was
3
it a
and
learning center
4-year-olds.
in Minnesota?
No, but it was a daycare.
Never any kids there. All right, I'm gonna go with true. That sounds reasonable.
Perkins Restaurant.
Wait, I said I worked at Perkins, and then you said I remembered there's another one.
Oh, did I just say restaurant? I didn't mean to say restaurant. Perkins. It's like a Walgreens.
Were you a pharmacy tech there?
No, I was not. Just a cashier.
No.
Okay.
No, because you would how are you going to mix that up with restaurant?
Because you were saying it so much, and I'm kind of busy looking. I put clothing store and then clothing store in the mall, and I think there was only one clothing store, so I got to take one of those off.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and this one you're not going to believe.
Okay.
I worked for an upholsterer, a fabric person. Listen, so her name was like Fabiola or something, and she hired me to do the bookkeeping. I knew nothing about how to keep books. Nothing. I only worked there for 2 weeks because I didn't know what I was doing. I was in over my head. And she wanted me to learn, what's that program that helps you do books?
You tell me.
I don't know. And she wanted me to learn it. And I'm like, this is for the birds. It was so boring. It was like a tiny little shop. And it's so crazy that it hit me while we were sitting here. Because I'm like, you were the fabric guy. How do I not remember my job working in a fabric store?
For those of you who don't know, I owned a fabric store with my family.
Lies. I don't believe it.
There's a sign on the door with our name on it. Anyways, I was there for nearly 18 years of my life because I don't jump from job to job.
That was rude. Anyways, so do you believe me or not?
No, not on the upholstery shop. That's a lie.
All right.
I want to tell you.
What do we get when I prove that you were wrong every single time you said I lied?
I don't know how you could prove that.
I mean, because my word is going to prove that.
Okay.
You said I had to wait until the end.
Yeah, you'd have to wait till the end. But hang on 1 second. Let me just say, number of jobs I've had. How many do you think it is?
4.
Maybe a little more. Let's see. So I worked to start out, my very first job was Domino's Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I worked there for the whole summer, and I left because
Piece of Walker Fabrics, Pastor.
All right, so I left.
5.
I left Domino's because the guy he wanted us. First, he told us that the owner told us that we had to charge for sauce, and we didn't used to have to charge for sauce. You put a little marinara sauce in there. He said you got to start charging for the sauce. It was 25 cents. Well,
What year was this? How old were you?
I was 16. It was 2000. Okay, so he says you got to start charging for the sauce. So I'm like, okay. Well, then he says you don't ask anybody anymore. Every pizza comes with a sauce. You have to put it on there. It's 25 cents. So make sure that you mark every pizza for a sauce. Because I was on the phone and I'm like, would you like a sauce? It's 25 cents for the sauce. And he hears me and he's like, no, don't do that. You just put it on there. If they don't want it, they'll question the amount if they don't want it or whatever. And I didn't really even love that, but I was doing what I was told. I was this phone operator. I used to answer the phone.
You were nervous too.
That was one of the things that broke me.
Yeah.
So I only wanted to work there because my girlfriend, Sarah, who I later married, she worked there. I only had her as a wife.
And she won a game system there.
She did not. I love that. It was a PlayStation 2.
I know. I just had to pull your
won that.
chain.
Anyways. So he said, you got to charge for the sauce. And then he says, stop asking them. You just put it on there. If they don't want it, then take it back off. But otherwise, every pizza gets a sauce at 25 cents. Just put it on there. So if they get 5 pizzas, put 5 sauces on there. Okay. So I'm doing that. Then I am going over one day and I have to get somebody's there and I got to get their pizzas. Well, you're supposed to open the box and check their pizza. Well, I open the box and there's no sauce in there. So I reach over.
But they got charged for it.
So I reach over and I start putting a sauce in the box. Well, he loses his mind on me and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, there's a sauce in each one. You're missing all the sauce in these. And he goes, "They didn't want sauce. They didn't ask for sauce." And I was like, "But you have us charging for a sauce." And this is his reply to that. I was like, "You have us charging for a sauce." And he goes, "Oh, so I'm not going to get in the pearly gates because I'm putting an extra 25 cents on a pizza. I don't think so." And I was like, "Are you serious right now? Like, you want me to have you, I mean, eat 25 cents a pizza, it'll add up by the time in 100 pizzas a night or whatever."
Yeah.
And I was like, I won't do that. And he yelled at me. And it wasn't the fact that he yelled at me. It was that he wanted me to charge for sauce and then not put it in the box. And so I was so angry
You
at
quit.
that. I literally quit on the spot.
And
He was the owner. The manager came out. His name was Andrew. Manager.
That was the owner saying that stuff?
Yeah, the owner was the one who
heck
wanted me to do
no.
it. But the manager, Andrew, came out and he tried to sit beside me. He was like, "Is there anything I can do to get you to stay?" He was like, "We really enjoy having you." And I was like, "Well, I mean, are you okay with stealing?" And he's like, "I mean, it's 25 cents, Justin." And I'm like, 25 cents times 100 is $25. I'm stealing $25 from people. And he's like, "No, it's 25 cents. And he was like, he's just trying to make a little bit of extra. And he's like, all justifying it. Anyways, left there, I made that story way
Arby's.
too long. I went to Perkins. And then I worked at Perkins until Perkins closed. And because they closed, that's what forced me to end up going over to Arby's. Then I became a manager at Arby's, and I only left Arby's because we opened Walker Fabrics several years later. I was going to end up being a general manager and then a director of operations and whatever. And my whole goal was when I got out of high school, we got married, and I was like, I'm going to go and be a missionary. That's when we got married. But I wasn't in church, and this is a weird part of our testimony. We didn't go to church because we got mad at church, because some falling out that we had over getting married young and whatever. So we got married at 18, and I left the church, and I said, I will never go to another church in my whole life. Church is just a country club. They just want the person who's got the most money. That's the only person they want. And I don't want any part of that. So I'm like, I'm going to go in the Congo and go die for the gospel, go die for Christ. But instead, I just went and did my job. And by a year later, maybe a little more than a year later, I hadn't been to church. I hadn't been giving to any church. I hadn't been given to the Lord in any way. I wasn't doing anything. Within 1 year, I just wasn't doing anything. And all of a sudden, my whole life was just about career and how I'm going to move up in my career and it's like somewhere within that year, I just totally dropped the idea of ever going to be a missionary or being in ministry or whatever. My parents invited me to a church, and I went to that church. And then the pastor heard later that I felt called to the ministry earlier in life, and then that's how I got in ministry. So at that point, I was still at Arby's, and now I'm a youth minister at the same time. And then we opened up Walker Fabrics, and so I left Arby's to go be at Walker Fabrics. I was there for the next 18 years. So Domino's, Perkins, Arby's, Walker Fabrics,
And pastor.
pastor. If you include social media now as a job, you could say influencer and call it a sixth.
Add that to mine. So how many jobs do I have?
All right, so let's start with this question. How many jobs have you had?
Good question.
How many?
41.
41.
And I'm sure there's some that I'm not remembering.
Probably at this point. 41 jobs.
41 jobs. I like to call myself the Jill of all trades. Because I have with the jobs, I have my nail tech license, my dental assistant license. I'm a photographer. There's another job, 42. Photographer. Social media. So there's a lot. There's a lot that I like to do. I'm the Jill of all trades, and I never fully commit to any of them. I want to do so many different things. I love artistic hand lettering writing and stuff so much, and making signs. I love interior decorating so much.
I think that the problem is, I think we're pretty candid on this podcast. So
Yeah.
I think that the issue there is that what you really want is to be a stay-at-home wife and mom.
Yeah, that's my ultimate want ever.
And so when you're your desire for a job is not a career, and it's not really money. It's just because I like to do something.
Yes.
And so for you, what you really seem to want, my estimation of that is you want a hobby, you want a thing to be
Yes.
involved in that's not just all the time at home.
Yes.
But yet at the same time, you don't want to have to be committed because the only commitment that you want to stick with is home.
Mm-hmm.
And everything else is like a secondary.
Yes.
I just want something to do, something to enjoy,
Definitely.
Something a little different or whatever. But then that's where but don't ask me to commit to that in any sort of like time scale or financial, just.
And if you were to ask me what my favorite thing that I've done, and if I would go back to what I would want to go back to, it's waitressing.
Interesting.
I know.
I was going to ask you that. Of all the things that you've done, what was your favorite?
Waitressing.
So what's funny about that is when I, of all the things that I've ever done, I've always said if I needed quick money, I would go wait tables.
Yeah.
Because I was really, really good at it.
And it's fun. Like it's sporadic. You meet new people and you're just like busy all the time. I like to be busy if I have a job.
Yeah.
Though my worst jobs that I ever worked were ones that I was not busy in.
Yeah. I used to eat a lot of the croutons at Perkins. They had like a big tub of croutons, like this big clear tub, and I would just like grab them, eat. I just remember eating a bunch of croutons and French silk pie.
Not McDonald's, at Movie Gallery. We had a little ice cream thing, cooler.
Yeah.
And I would grab myself an ice cream and I would sit down against one of the shelves and I would put on a movie that I liked because we had TVs in the corner. I would just sit there and eat my ice cream and watch a movie.
Wait for the next customer.
And then I would hear the door and I would get up and act like I was adjusting the movies. And then
We used to call that, when I was a manager at Arby's, we called that the manager reach. And that's when somebody walks in the door and you don't want them to see you sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah.
So you reach for something as they get in the door, like, oh yeah, and you're like, oh, you got the manager reach going on. You're reaching for the
exactly.
And I used to call my manager out about, oh, you need the MSDS sheet. You looking for the
That's funny.
You need the MSDS sheet to know like what the safety protocols are. Yeah, just reaching for that. Be like,
I love it.
Are you getting the training manual? We don't have anybody to train right now. You want me to get that for you? Nothing up there you needed. Anyways, all right, Kelly, 41 jobs. The question we have is, of your 41 jobs, how many have you lied about tonight?
0.
You had every one of those
Every
jobs.
single one of them. I did not lie about a single one of them. I thought about it midway through. I'm like, I should probably add some lies.
I kind of thought you were
I have enough without them.
I thought you were going to do that to me a little bit. I knew you've had a lot of jobs, but I thought you were going to
throw in some.
I thought you would have at least thrown in, somewhere in the middle. I thought, what if all these are true? Because she's had a bunch of jobs.
Yep, every single one of them is true. I know.
Well, there you have it. I
need to know, does anybody watching, can anybody match me? Anybody?
I want to warn any of you not to hire Kelly.
I am a good employee when I'm there.
I don't think Kelly has any desire for a job right now. So not like that kind of a job.
How many have I cried at?
41.
No.
Everyone.
No.
Every job.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Then how many?
That I can think of off the top
39.
of my head too.
Oh, you lie.
Really? The real estate lady and
There's no
River Farm.
There is no way.
I went home crying all the time from there.
That might be true, but I'm sure that you cried at every other.
I mean, probably some of them. I
certain
can't think of it.
Yes, I know this for a fact that she's cried at way more than 2. Certain of that. Don't need to go too much further into that conversation.
No.
But anyways, I think that, right now you're in a position. Life is different in a whole lot of ways, but you're in a position to say, we didn't come into this relationship needing to get established.
I had a job. I cleaned the church.
Oh, that's right. 43 is that now? 43 we're added up to.
43.
Yeah, cleaning the church. That's another one.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that you've come into a position. We've come into a position where we're established. We're taking 2 established things and it's like merging 2 companies that are already going. We're not trying to build something from the ground up. we already had a whole lot of things built.
Mm-hmm.
And so, there's no need for you to have, I mean, there could be, don't misunderstand me, there could be things that we could want in a materialistic way, and then say the way to get that would be for you to have, we have to forego certain things because we don't, I need you to mark this down on your Amazon cart. We have to forego certain things because we don't have
But let's take into consideration, like I do clean the church, and he
does.
helps me sometimes, and
Yes.
Kaylee, she works with me sometimes. But that is what paid for our room remodel.
well, that and some photography and
Yeah.
and so and that's the thing. Like, I think that you like those,
I do.
the church
'Cause
has,
you want me to not do those things. Like you don't
Yes.
want me to have to work, or not have to, because I don't have to, but you don't want me out there.
I don't,
cleaning.
especially the church cleaning one. That one gets in the way a lot because we have to do that within a certain little time window, and it just never fails that there are things that I would like to do in that little time window, and it's like, but we got to go do this. We got to go clean the church. And so, and I'm sure that could be said about, my schedule. I have I have the freedom to move my schedule around most of the time. Anybody that's scheduling things with me, whether it be counseling or a phone call or, their wedding or a funeral or whatever. Well, funeral's not, but, and then the day of the wedding is not. But if say I'm doing premarital counseling,
Yeah.
I get to talk with those couples and say, okay, here are my available hours, and set up some times in between. So I get freedom to move things around. And if I just look ahead a little bit, I can shift things to put, now, I mean, that might force me to work until 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock at night, but.
Like last Monday.
Yeah, like last Monday. I mean, there are times that I just, it just happens. It's work, but there's a freedom of moving things. But there are a few things that are like, I will never get that. I will never have a Sunday off.
Mm-hmm.
Sundays are not an off day for me. I mean, I'll have them off if I take a vacation, but Sundays are not an off day for me.
Mm-hmm.
Sundays are still get up early. And I know there's some other people at church that work with me in that same way. So in the same way, I'm sure you could look at it and go, there are some Sundays I would like to do this, but we can't do that on Sunday because you are there.
Yeah.
It's not just that. And even if I wasn't pastor, just so you know my personality, I still wouldn't miss church. Mm-hmm. I didn't miss church before I was a pastor. I didn't miss any days. And it's going to be really difficult to get me to say, oh, I'll go do this other thing instead of going to church today. I mean, unless that other thing is like really rare and promising and I can't figure out another way to do it or another time to do it. But if it's like, oh, we're going to do our birthday party on Sunday afternoon, during Sunday at noon, I'm going to be like, well, I would go to church. Like, I'm not going to skip church to go to a birthday party.
Yeah.
I would be like, I'll be there late. I'll see you guys, an hour or 2 hours after or whatever, but I wouldn't miss church for it. Anyways, that being said, I think that because, we're not in a position where you have to have a job per se. That's one of the things that it feels like, oh, that Saturday morning or Friday morning, going getting the church cleaned, that feels cumbersome at times. It's really not if I think about it, but it feels that way a little bit. Like it seems like it never fails that when I want to put something there that gets in the way. Mm-hmm. Anyways, but I think you enjoy having some income.
I do.
And bringing something in.
And I enjoy doing that. I enjoy, like, I don't know, just zoning out, listening to my podcasts. And
do you mean like your podcast like this? Listening to Happy Chaos?
I listen to like how to be a good godly wife and
yeah. But you do seem to like, when there's photography, you do seem to like that, getting some sort of photography, like, but again, I think that there's a sporadic nature to that.
Yes, but that's why I don't like doing weddings, because it's like, well, that's booked a year from now, and I'm committed to it. Once
you're
committed to it, you're committed to it, and so it's like, oh, but what if that time next year I want to do something? What if that time next year I'm on vacation? What if that time next year anything? I don't like that.
Yeah, but you do seem to like. Mm-hmm. The fact that it's not like every single day, every single, there's a lot of freedom and flexibility around those other events. So anyways, there you have it. Today we learned about a little bit more about Kelly and her work history. I would love for Kelly to turn in a resume
with all those jobs.
With all of those.
Okay.
The whole
Challenge accepted.
I almost want to like make a video of it of like Kelly going and like sitting down for a job. She's got to have some like Meta AI glasses on that she could set the glasses and turn it on and sit down and just I want to look at somebody's face when they're like, "What is?"
You're hired. You've got experience.
I think they'd look at it and be like, 2 months, 3 months, 1 week, non-existent. down the line.
Oh, gosh.
Pharmacy tech, okay.
Yeah. I really was.
I really did think
Such
that
a boring job.
I really did think that took some sort of
Nope.
schooling or something.
The pharmacist took schooling.
Maybe that's what I'm
But
thinking.
I was just the pharmacy tech.
Maybe I don't
I
understand
would
what a
count
tech
out
is.
pills and put them in a package and
That feels like
pour
that
penicillin. I know.
feels like you should know something about
I
something.
agree. I agree. But
No,
the
it's fine. We
pharmacist-
were just filling capsules with whatever they told us to put in there.
The pharmacist had to double check your work and stuff. But
Oh, maybe. Well,
that was the most boring job ever.
there you have
ever.
it. Hey, y'all, it's been Happy Chaos, episode number 42.
Like my age.
We've enjoyed our time with you today. We hope that you'll come back next week.
We do.
Same-
Hopefully we didn't bore you too much with all my jobs.
I don't think so. I think you probably have a lot of people going, "Are you serious right now?"
It tracks.
It
That's what they're saying.
Totally tracks.
There's some things in life I'm like committed to and dedicated to, like my marriage or previous marriage with my late husband, my family. But some things I'm not. Next week we'll talk about the houses I've lived in.
Oh my.
Oh, anyways, it's been fun. It's been real.
It's been real fun.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see y'all later.
Happy chaos. That's our song.